All right, we forgot in the midst of talking to Mary and Jenna, which is Jenna is John's daughter. She was our shuttle pilot. Midst of talking to all them folks, we forgot to do our starting video. So we're part way. This will be the part way video, but I am going to put it at the beginning. Otherwise, it just seemed weird with the other videos. So John, or come along, as I have given him the trail name, and he refuses to introduce himself as that. I don't know why. I think he's embarrassed by it. But anyway, well, he's come along again on a 5th trip. So, you know, you'd think 3rd time's a charm. No, that didn't work out for him. And 4th time, anything after the 3rd time, that's his own fault for coming again. So anyway, had a good night's sleep, and we're at Vanderventer Shelter, and we are continuing boots north. So you got anything to say, John?
Glad for punishment, I reckon.
All right, here we go. So I said Mary earlier, but I meant Marlene. So this is Marlene, and she met us there before we left, where you come out of the woods there, where we're starting at Boots Off, and she hiked a few miles with us. And so we started there at pretty much at Boots Off, which starts at Watauga Lake. Gorgeous, gorgeous walk around the lake. Used to have a shelter there, and of course it's been taken down because of bears, but I can't imagine a prettier shelter until we got to Vanderventer Shelter, and you'll see that in just a bit. But very pretty walk around the lake. Enjoyed that. Marlene will cover you up in kindness and in a goodie bag and everything else. So greatly appreciate that, Marlene. Look forward to seeing you again. Marlene is a trail angel in the Tennessee area, and she helps out people a lot. So once you get around the lake, then you will come across the dam there at Wilbur Dam Road and the dam access, and it is pretty neat to look at. So we enjoyed that, and we are going to go boots north, continuing our hike. All right, we've gotten to Watauga Dam. Wilbur Dam Road's 1.3 miles, and this is where they decided to put it in this gorge. So I think that was a good idea. So I think they did that appropriately. Tied into the rock of the gorge. And anyway, been on the trail about 45 minutes. Marlene, the trail angel, was kind enough to show up, and she hiked with us for a little bit. She had us some resupply and snacks and stuff, but we are already well supplied, so we greatly appreciate her thought. Marlene is always thoughty like that. Gorgeous day. See where the sun is, so we're getting started kind of late. I figure we got about maybe 4 hours of daylight, and then we're going to be in the dark. We got somewhere, it was 9.2, so we still got 8 miles to go to get to the shelter. So we need to do 2 miles an hour, and it's all up. So I don't know, we might be hiking with headlights for a while here. But in any case, this is what's going on, and I gotta remind me to tell you the story of the lady in Damascus. If you haven't already seen my Instagram post, kind of had an unusual greeting in Damascus. So we'll chat about that here in just a bit. All right, we are sallying forth. All right, so we are up that first pull coming out of Watauga Dam, and it was a pretty good step, but not too long at all. We were just talking about when we did that section up in around Harper's Ferry. I'll leave a card up here at the end of the video on it, but we were doing that section. We got on that C&O towpath, and it is amazing how hard those hard surfaces are on your feet and your ankles and your joints. And we started feeling that back there. A little bit of a road walk, I don't know, maybe 2/10 of a mile. Once you hit the dam, walk up Wilbur Dam Road till the trail goes off to the left. This is heading Obo in the woods. So feet started hurting. Once I got back on the trail, even though I'm going uphill, they felt good. come along. His ankle started hurting him, but it's back to normal now. So funny how you notice that. But anyway, this is one of them sections where the trail ain't well graded. So far I hadn't hit many switchbacks. It's just been pretty much uphill. Walking along the, I guess this is the west side of the mountain. The lake being on the east side. All right, we're gonna keep on trucking. All right, well, we're on a bit of a down here. Bring you up to speed in the continuing saga of what his Ramdino forgot on this trip. Blood? Yeah, it's got to be a drag. Come on, keep seeing fur. We heard some hunting going on earlier. Figures this is hunting season. I heard some shooting going on. It's hunting season, so A, we should have brought orange, wore orange, and B, he saw some fur and stuff. Looked like somebody had been using the trail to drag something out of here. But anyway, back to my saga. What did I forget? So my battery bank is about 2 years old. So it came with the mini USB that plugged into my old S7 phone before I got this Note 20, which is a mini, no, correction, a C connection and not a mini USB. Consequently, I don't have a way to charge my phone on this trip. So that's what I forgot, was the little bitty adapter that goes with it. The battery bank has to have that particular wire because that's the way the battery bank, you know, you take the cable has the mini USB on one end and the USB on the other. USB 2.0 or 3.0, whatever, same configuration. And so you plug that into a charger, wall charger, and then you plug the mini USB into the battery bank to charge it. And then once it's charged, when you want to charge your phone, you take that same cable, reverse it, plug the USB into the USB 2.0 outlet on the battery bank, and then take the mini USB, plug it into your phone. Well, my S7 had that. This Note 20 does not. So I have an adapter. Of course, I am a little on the chintzy side. Makes no sense at all. I buy all this gear, but I won't spend an extra $1.50 or $5 on a pack of 20 adapters, so I could throw them away like popcorn if I had to. So I don't have but two, and of course I left one of them at the house. Didn't bring one with me, so I got no way to charge this phone. I can turn everything off and it will last me, according to the phone, I'm down to 2 days and 19 minutes. I'll turn it off at night and sleep with it, and that will that'll get me further down the trail. Just want to make sure I can take video and pictures, all that neat stuff. As far as communications, I got the bailout button on the spot if I got in a pinch, and I got come along back there. He's got a battery bank, and he brought proper cordage. So took a break back there about a 3/4 mile ago. Had 2 miles to the water source, and then 2 miles after that to Vanderventer Shelter. I am told by Fresh Ground and comments that you want to get your water and tote it before Vanderventer Shelter, because the water source there is a 1/4 mile down the hill. As a matter of fact, there's one post on Good Hooks, kind of funny. Guy says there's a halfway to the water source is a tent spot. He figures that's somebody just couldn't make it any further going back up the hill and had to stay for the night. But anyway, that's what it looks like now. And typical walk in the woods AT experience right now. Watauga Lake, gorgeous. Had some really neat views from that. And we're heading on. Should be at Vanderventer. May make it before it gets completely sundown. Possibility I'll be meeting Mighty Bones there. Should be running into him on this section. He's heading Sobo, we're heading Nobo at a closing speed of about 6 miles an hour. Oh, there's Watauga Lake. That's a gorgeous lake, no doubt about it. And so Mighty Bones I've been updating. He's heading this direction, so I look forward to hopefully seeing him. My understanding was he left Damascus today, about, I guess it's been 10 hours ago by now. Oh, there's an even better spot of it. All right, we'll turn this off, save the battery, and next spot will be Vanderventer Shelter. All right, we have made it to Vanderventer Shelter, I believe it is. Did pretty good. Water source is hell and far gone from this thing. I mean, it's like, I don't know, a third of a mile away. So we cameled up before we left at the 2 miles ago at the spring. It was running good, and also brought 3 additional liters with us. So that's it hanging right there. But anyway, it says it'll hold 6. I think it'll hold more than that. But a couple tent spots around it. What the really neat thing is though about it is it's got a heck of a view out back. And there's Come Along enjoying it. And yeah, that's gorgeous. And I'm hoping that, oh my gosh, look at that. I'm hoping that that is due east and we'll get a heck of a sunrise in the morning. But you see Watauga Lake, we've been walking past it the whole way. It just keeps on going. Wow, that is gorgeous. Now, if you look right over in there somewhere, if you can see it, there's a square thing up on top of the mountaintop.
Sugar Top.
That is Sugar Top Condos at Sugar Mountain Ski Resort. So that was a ski resort that the first and only one they built in North Carolina on a ridge that butchers the skyline around it. So after it was built, the state put a moratorium on everything. Now has to be, I think it's the top has to be 30 feet below all the ridge lines. So you can't have anything exposed that's destroying the ridge lines. But anyhow, that is what we're looking at now, and it is absolutely gorgeous. All right, we'll be continuing on. Woohoo! You better not sleepwalk around here.
That's what I was telling you.
You sleepwalk around here, you are in for trouble. All right, probably it for a while. Maybe it for the evening. We'll see. People ask why you hike. Well, this is one of the reasons. Way back in here, all by ourselves. And we got this gorgeous light show. Makes it all worthwhile. And we don't have to be down yonder in the madness. All right, we are, let's see, about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour out of camp. There's a campsite 4 miles past Vanderventer. We hadn't got to that yet. We have walked plumb through Laurel Creek Wilderness. So we accomplished that. Mainly what we've been doing now is this ridge walk, which looks like it's going to be pretty much our trip. It's been gorgeous looking down over the valley. The trees is all dropped, of course, it's winter. So you got good views no matter what. Tell you a story about the lady. I hadn't told you that yet. So we parked at the Damascus Library. Damascus Library is free parking, long-term. Sign up there. You just have to go to their website and fill out a quick form. Basically your car, who you are, contact information, license number. And then, so it's free parking there at their library. So we're standing there at the library waiting for a shuttle, and the lady drives up, and I just kind of look at her car, and she comes out and gets out of the car, and you know, like you typically do, cordial to people, kind of nod your head. In the old days, they'd tip your hat. And she walked past me, and she goes, "You want a picture?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm used to people when I'm a tourist somewhere on vacation asking me if they want me to have them take my picture. There was two of us there, me and come along, and so I thought that's what she meant. And then as she walked past me, she said, "You stared long enough." So she was being I guess a miserable old lady. Here she is, and I hope she's not representative of the townsfolk of Damascus, but she walked past us after saying that. I kind of incredulously looked at come along. I'm like, did she say just what I think she said? So he grabs his camera. She walked back by us again. He goes, "Yeah, I think I will." He takes her picture. Well, she shoots him a bird while he's taking the picture. And then she goes, "Did you get it?" He goes, "Yep, I got it." And as she's getting in her car, she goes, "Where's your mask?" Well, she didn't have a mask on either. And I said, and I'm usually not rude to the older generation, particularly gray-haired ladies, but I don't know, it just came out of me. I said, "I guess the same place where yours is." And then she went on some rigmarole about, "Well, I'm walking, you're just standing there." And I was tired of the conversation by that point, and still picking my teeth up off the ground thinking, what the heck just happened? So if y'all know this lady, please go show her some love today, because her tank is completely empty. Now, I don't think she's indigenous of Damascus. Maybe she moved up from Florida, from up north, and that's the way you talk to somebody. If you're from up north, I'm just kidding. I know you don't talk to people like that. And same thing for you Floridians. I know y'all don't talk to people like that. We're just a little more cordial here, I guess, in the South. In any case, if her tank's empty, so go show her some love. To the redeeming thing that happened not 15 minutes later was we pulled in the Subway to get us a bite to eat, take with us, and a fella came up. His name was, can't remember his first name, but his last name was Moon, and his wife's name I believe was Emily. And he came in the parking lot and walked up and said hey, and had a nice little conversation. So Mr. Moon, you've redeemed the people of Damascus, so I appreciate that very much. All right, I'm out of breath. I'm gonna stay on this ridge, I reckon, for a while. All right. Rest before I even tried to get up there. So I was pulling my weight up that stair on that rail. And there was some people down there up top looking down at me. I didn't realize until I got to the top, and they looked at me and they were like, they were feeling sorry for me. By the time I got and they were at the top of the thing, they were like, "Where did you come from? Where have you been?" Maryland. "How far have you been?" All that, and I was like, Pennsylvania, that's where we was coming from. I'm so damn tired, I don't even want to think about it. I just have about a mile that I think I can crawl to get to the most. All right, looks like I should have brought my micro spikes. I think this will be the only place. I don't know that sure, but we're going through the power lines now. and we are coming up on the shelter in about a mile, 3/4 of a mile. But so far so good. Trail's been great. Of course, there's ups and downs. You're on AT, we expect, but the been a lot of flat areas, a lot of ridge walking. Trees are gone, leaves are gone, so it's just gorgeous view. So of course we had to shed all our had on our thermals and long johns this morning, had to shed all them within the first 20 minutes. So anyhow, we're coming up on the halfway point, or actually we're past the halfway point for the day. So we'll have, I think I got about 7 miles from here to the shelter we'll be staying at. So that one is 6 miles from the shelter we're going to right now. Grab us a quick bite to eat lunch. I'm expecting to see Mighty Bones somewhere here on the trail. So looking forward to seeing a THru HIker, rock star of the trail. All of them are on his way, boots south. All right, we'll keep on driving. All right, we're coming up on a road here for Iron Mtn Shelter, and there's bridges across. I guess this gets marshy during the wet season. Right now it's icy, but this is before the road that would take you to Rabbit Hole Hostel. I think it's how they access it. But somebody's kind enough to build these in here for us. Now, let's see if I can keep from busting it. We are, once we get to the parking lot, we'll have about 4 miles to go, mostly uphill, to get to Iron Mtn Shelter where we'll be for the night. We'll get there a little early than yesterday because the train hadn't been all up, and it's about 2 miles shorter, so we should get there an hour earlier. I'm figuring at least. Okie doke.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right, so we have, what was that gap? Well, did it say that was a gap? What did it say that was?
It was a gap, but I don't know what it was.
Well, we crossed over the road anyhow. And it's in a pasture here. Pretty well trodden path, so a few cars in the parking lot. So, and it says it's handicap accessible. It does not meet the pitch requirements for handicap accessible. I'm not so sure about the median, the material down, but anyway, did have handicap parking in true U.S. government run fashion. So we're coming through this. I think I saw a sign back here, it's 3 something to the shelter. Pretty vista through here though. Oh yeah, it's gonna be prettier when we get up here on top. I'll see you then. Well, I have seen that barn in a blue million videos. That's kind of an iconic place on the trail. Everybody takes pictures in front of that barn. Now I know where it's at. So I knew it was in a cow pasture. I didn't know it was this one. I didn't know it was in Tennessee. So it's pretty cool to see another icon on the trail.
This must be where they got
the what?
the green marker on the.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, we come to the top of the hill. There's a bench up here, and this ends where the handicap accessible area is. But like I was telling you before, this is one heck of a view. Yep, sure would make a nice homestead somewhere. And I guess it's private land that the ATC leases. I don't know. All right, we made it to Double Springs Shelter. It's a 14.4 mile day. Tomorrow will be a little longer. It's going to be an 18-mile day. But it's all downhill. Right? Heard that before. But seriously, most of it is downhill, so we should be good. But got here, like I said, about an hour ahead of time. We're back in a holler. We're not on the side of a cliff like at Vanderventer, so it's probably gonna get darker back in here sooner. Water's good here. It's called Double Springs because it's 2 springs, but there's only really 1 spring it's worth getting water out of. But it's piped and it's flowing good. So it filled up 3-liter bag in 10 seconds. So we made it. Still in the woods, quite a bit of snow still in the woods, you see, on the north side, west side. Passed a couple bear hunters coming in here, and one of them had a plot hound with him. So he said that one hound, he said last night there was 11 people up here at the shelter. That's a lot of folks at the shelter, particularly when it says there's only 6 people supposed to stay in here. And there's not any tent spots around here. Huh? You're boiling. Uh-oh. My food's boiling back yonder. Where is it? Right there. Anyway, let me go eat. All right, we'll chat with you later. All right, 20 minutes out of camp. Get to see this. It's awful pretty, awful pretty. Anyways, we're going all the way to Damascus, 18 point, I think it's just actually 17.2 miles. So that's gonna make us a 17-mile day, give or take, mainly give. But pretty valley down through there. It's a pretty place. So it'll be the longest day yet, but the terrain should be the easiest because we're going downhill a majority of the way. So far it's been really good. A lot of flat areas, kind of remind me of our trip up in Pennsylvania and Maryland and West Virginia, where you'd have long stretches of flats. I'm not used to that on the AT. And the downhills have not been too terribly bad. So come along has decided he's contemplating a new trail name. He don't like the one I've given him. I don't know why he's so adverse to that. We kind of got into a little disagreement about, he claims that if you're heading Nobo, you are going uphill all the time, because he says north is up. Now, I've tried to convince him that north is a cardinal direction and up is an elevation change, but I'm not sure if he's serious or not. Yeah, he may have sucked me right in. He may have. I'm not sure about that. We'll figure that out. But we have agreed to disagree. Now, we have not shot each other a bird like the kind lady did to us in Damascus, so it has not accelerated to that point. So we're good to go as far as that goes. I think possibly we may do another hike in the distant future. I don't know if this disagreement will shut that down or not, but no, we're just out here on the trail talking, and I think he just had to come up with something crazy. So he did. He is not a member of the Flat Earth Society, so he turned that card in. I believe his last, didn't you turn your Flat Earth Society member card in last year, John?
Oh, at least.
Yeah, so and I think, to be honest with you, he just didn't pay the dues, and they revoked his card. So anyway, we're heading on down, and I don't know if that's Damascus over there or not. Maybe. Looks a little big for Damascus, but it may not be. I don't know. Anyway, just enjoying the trail, and we'll keep on going. So this is what a lot of the trail looks like. We're on relatively flat. You'll have a quick uphill, get to the top. It'll be a nice little breather, flat area, and then it'll be a downhill. None of them are too severe. So this is a really good section between the 2 parking areas right before the Virginia-Tennessee line where we're at. I don't know the mile number. I'll throw it up here, but it is Nice little section through here, and just such a gorgeous day to be hiking. I think it's probably my favorite time. This and right in spring, right before spring green up, where you could, you know, you still see, you still got views all the time. And you got to look through the trees, but you're not looking through the leaves and in a green tunnel. So we'll probably hit the parking lot down here at a gap like they normally are and hit that mountain right in front of us. That'll be all right. All right, last place I came across a rock wall like this was in Maryland, Pennsylvania. So somebody's gathered all these rocks up here. It tells me this was probably a one point in time a pasture, that they got it all out of the pasture, or may have been cultivated. I don't know. Had to, because there ain't a lot of rock outcroppings around here. But anyway, it's kind of neat to see that. Always wondered, is this a homestead, or, you know, what was this years ago that made them pile up rocks in such a pattern like that. All right, so I am the weakest link apparently between Come Along and I, because he is out of sight. We left the gap down there at the parking lot, and he is hammered down. So Come Along usually entertains me, spends a good bit of time chatting. So very see if he's up there talking to himself. But he is definitely hiking his own hike this morning. We are probably 12 miles, 13, 12 miles out of Damascus. Clouds have started to roll in. So we'll see if it holds till 4 o'clock, which is when I'm figuring we're gonna hit the parking lot at the library where we're parked at Damascus. We'll see. All right, we've come up on McQueen Shelter, and it is a shelter that is only used for emergency bases, supposedly, but there's freshly burned stuff up here. And it's a little lean-to, because it leans to the left. I guess, as John would say, it leans uphill, because it leans to the north. But yeah, it's made out of probably old chestnut logs, and there's just a little bitty platform in there wide enough for 2 folk. You would not be able to get more than that in there. But pretty nice. I'm surprised somebody stole these chestnut logs. And somebody's been keeping it up because it's got 10 that ain't that old on it, and 2x4s for rafters instead of just chestnut logs. Anyhow, that is Chestnut Shelter. All right, coming up out of that gap there, wherever that dirt road is, can't remember the name, after McGrath or McQueen Shelter, felt a stinging sensation in the arch of my foot, and I'm not sure if that's one end of my Achilles tendon or if that's my plantar fascia tendon. In any case, let me know if you know what it is. So I've had to slow down going uphill, because it's only like that going uphill. Kind of have to walk flat-footed with that left foot to keep it from hurting. Sure don't want it to get worse. So I figure we got 10 miles to go that I gotta use that tendon being fixed. I don't know that I have another road crossing between here and Damascus. We're coming up into Abington Gap Shelter in a couple miles. Stop there and grab us some lunch. But anyway, it's awful pretty through here. Nice and this is kind of what I envision. My favorite type of AT trail is walking through the wilderness and with these killer views out there. Got a little bit of breeze blowing. If it's messing up the sound, I apologize for that. Not much I can do about it right now, but just a pretty area, wide open through here. And see for a ways, and it's just a good little place to hike. This section that we did from Double Springs to Damascus, it has of course some ups and downs, but none of them are really long, so you get a lot of sections like this. And of course, yeah, there's all kind of places around here up on top of that hill. A lot of stealth sites through here. So this section, if you did want to stay at a shelter, there's plenty of places that you could pop a tent up. All right, as somebody Forrest said, that's all I got to say about that. All right, we are at Abington Gap Shelter. We stopped there for just a quick lunch, and water sources here. Of course, there's no privies on any of these. Somebody left some trail magic. Now, somebody hauled them bananas up there, and they didn't do it in their pack either, because they are not at all crushed or bruised, and they are ripe for eating. So whoever comes behind us, get you some nanners, because they was good. All right, we got how far we got to get? 9?
He said about 9 miles, yeah.
We got about 9 miles to finish out. I didn't think it was that far. I thought it was 8. I'm gonna say it's 8. That just sounds better than 9 for some reason.
Oh, but we're going uphill because we're going north.
Yeah. All right. The flat earther over yonder, he's gonna lead the way. We are continuing the mission. Charlie Mike out. So coming into the Tennessee-Virginia state line, and you always wonder what that particular icon on the trail, and I consider it an icon, what it looks like when you get there. I mean, I know what it looks like, but what's the surroundings look like? So pretty interesting to see what that is, see if it met my expectations, or not necessarily met them, just see what the difference is, because it's always different. One of the things is this is going to be an 18-mile day for us, so my feet, because I don't get out but once every 6 weeks, my feet start barking at about 10 miles. So usually 12 to 14 is about my comfort zone, and when we do these 18s, that's out of my comfort zone. And unfortunately, the issue is that I have to force myself to look at the surroundings, because if I don't, then I'll concentrate on my feet hurting me so bad, which I don't want to do. I'm out here on the trail loving it, but my feet hurt. So you gotta kind of plant your focus where it's supposed to be. So my focus is supposed to be here on the trail, and I think I'm seeing what I wanted to see. That state line, awesome. Yep, I am coming right up on it. This is awesome. So this is a culmination of, this will be state number 5 as soon as I cross into it. Tennessee, Virginia state line. That's awesome. And the Mount Rogers National, what does NRA stand for?
Rifle Association.
No, not here it don't. Oh, I can't remember what it stands for. Anyway, it's a national forest. The forest parts broke off down there on the bottom. But anyhow, glad to see this sign. And looking around me, yeah, I didn't expect to see that, that's for sure. And yeah, looks different. But yet it looks a little bit the same because it's always uphill to where people are standing. So anyway, there we are. Looks like we got 3.5 into Damascus. I thought that guy said it was 2 miles. Oh well, no, we're doing them.
He said about 4 miles.
Okay. All right, we're coming into Damascus, about 3 miles. And oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Give you a countdown of my states. So I've done Georgia, I've done North Carolina, now Tennessee, and then on the last trip I did Maryland and West Virginia. So there's 5 of them. So that's pretty neat. And then with the section we did up north, a little bit I've done in Mount Rogers, I reckon I've done pretty dang close to 1/4 of the trail. So I will be continuing that odyssey till one day when I may decide I'm going to thru hike it. That's the goal anyway. We'll see how the years treat me. Folks, that is it for this trip. It was a great trip. It was one of my favorites. I know I say that about after every trip, but really, that shelter, Vanderventer Shelter, was probably the prettiest shelter that I've been to. Had the prettiest views. I mean, the sunset was killer, even though you couldn't see the actual sphere of the sun, but the sunrise in the morning was absolutely awesome. And getting into Damascus and crossing another state off our list and starting a new state there in Virginia, even though we've been to it up north some, was just really killer. Greatly enjoyed that. We've come along. Stay tuned to find out what his new trail name is. Hopefully he will come along with me on another trip, and we've actually got one planned coming up here real soon. All right, folks, that's all I got for you on this trip. As always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out here.